see even now yet a fight back from the Hammer, who does have the darts in this set.
Well, stranger things have happened, John, but I just can't think of any off the top of my head that would be stranger than Phil Taylor losing a 4-0 advantage, bearing in mind, of course, that he's won 12 of the 13 legs played. It would take a shift of seismic proportions now, wouldn't it? I mean Taylor's right arm would have to fall off virtually, wouldn't it?
Yes, and there's no sign of that. Incidentally, in answer to your question, I've had a message from the sponsors to say that in the semi, if Taylor and Barney meet each other, as it looks as though they will, it'll be 8-15 Taylor, 6-4 Barney. There you are.
Well, I must admit, I thought Barnabel would be shorter odds than that.
It's very tempting.
And it will be one of the most eagerly anticipated semi-finals in the history of World Championship darts. And we've still got 2 quarter-finals to come yet, John, and they are indeed eagerly anticipated tomorrow evening, when James Wade takes on Wesley Newton. There you are, tomorrow night, just after 7 o'clock, that game, and then, John, my goodness.
Yes, that's a cracker, isn't it? That promises to be a real belter. I know 1 or 2 games that have shown or have given us promise haven't really been fulfilled. I think the obvious one is Barney against Gary Anderson, but in the main, where there's been the potential for a really good match, we've seen one.
139.
And I think this one has disappointed, and Andy Hamilton will be the first to admit that you cannot afford to miss crucial doubles against anybody, but particularly against Phil Taylor.
Well, he has suffered some real canings at the hands of Phil Taylor. He was whitewashed in the World Championship before at the Circus Tavern. It was 07, I think.
I think our friends in the press room will be licking their lips at the prospect.
140.
Taylor against Van Barneveld, here in force. Andy Dillon from the Sun, Mike Walters, the Mirror, Richard Lewis from the Star, Gary Jacob from the Times. We've got Jay Tomlinson from Bullseye Magazine in the States.
Andy required 95.
All in the press room tonight. 95 for Hamilton. 76, that means treble 20 for double 8. Yes, nice to watch.
Andy Hamilton.
Not a worried man by any means. Hamilton would have to do that at least another dozen times to start worrying the power. Maybe not quite as many as that.
Stacker, indeed. An air of inevitability and early in the tournament where Taylor was struggling to hit maximums, only had 6 before this match in the tournament. He's now taken that up to 11. So he's hit 5 in the 15th leg of the match. We are now. 1 every 3 legs is more than steady. Now then, just over pitched, so we'll switch.
96.
Yes, and in addition, we've got colleagues from CBS News, 60 Minutes, doing a feature on this tournament. Dutch TV, German TV, it's certainly a world event, and we've even got a guru from Grimsby. There you are.
140.
To watch the wonderful world of darting fantasy.
And 2 blokes from Stoke, the darting capital of the world, on stage.
No doubt about it.
134.
And he needs his 4th maximum of the match here to put a bit of pressure on Taylor, and he might well get it because they're sitting nicely.
180.
Well, he's asked a question of Taylor. Barney will always go treble 17. Taylor prefers the pragmatism of the bull. Double 16 for a 91 kill.
There's on the second leg.
As if to say to Hamilton, and that wasn't Hamilton he was pointing to, you can hit all the 180s you like, my friend, but they ain't gonna do you any good when I'm on the double. Brilliant.
81.
averaging just over 100. We've seen Barneveld do that a couple of times.
60.
I'll tell you what, the semi-final, surely it will be the semi-final between Phil Taylor and Raymond van Barneveld. Is enough to give you goosebumps a couple of days in advance of the match.
Yes, it's the result Barney desired.
59.
Had a feeling he might, you know, because he has looked so good. And he admitted he's now got up and played the board. He woke up one morning and realised that he was a very lucky man, playing the game that he loves to play. Why not get up and play the board? Play well if the other man wins. That's the way it goes. And that was Whitlock's philosophy, wasn't it?
Well, it's something that Phil Taylor's been telling Raymond van Barneveld for years when Barney was moping about. Many's the time he's told him that you're playing
96.
a match for the amount of money that it took my dad 2 years to earn. What's the matter with you, man?
Yep. Probably Barney's dad as well. And even Barney when he was a postman. Now he's a first-class darts player.
140.
Well, it leaves a bogey, but he couldn't do anything about that after the first dart in the single 20. He'll stay there and he'll keep peppering it. He'll keep peppering it. Even the single's not a bad one. Oh, I do love one of those.
171.
I love a 171, John. One of my favourites.
Yes, we saw one last night where it was treble 20, treble 19, treble 18. Obviously another way of getting it. But the 3 treble 19s, you're right. It's a canny shot, as they'd say in Geordieland.
134. And he
Can he
required
shot?
94.
Can he hit this? 94. Ball. Yeah, lovely. Okay, 12. Similar shot to the one the power took out in the last leg. Double 16.
78.
Well, you got to take them. First the double there.
32.
Won't hit the one dart. Bit like that double 13 won it when he wanted 146. Double 8. Not gonna miss. Told you.
There's on the third leg.
So confident at the moment
Fourth leg.
that even the
Phil
commentators
Taylor.
can't put a curse on him.
Well, in my opinion, Phil Taylor's doubling tonight has been the best it has been for some time. We saw a little bit of vulnerability around that double 16, double 8 area of the board in recent times, John. It has not been evidenced tonight at all. This is a brilliant display of finishing from Taylor. 14 out of 25 attempts.
Yes. And in fact, he hit 12 out of 22, 54% against Robert Thornton. He's slightly up on that. So he's really got that element of his game together as the competition has worn on. Take his last third round match and add it to that, it's 26 out of 47. Impressive.
Well, anything over 50% is exceptional, isn't it? Used to be 1 in 3 was the barometer.
60.
Probably 40% now, about par, John. Such
Yeah.
is the standard.
2 darts out of every 5 at hitting the double. You're going to win more than you lose. Anything above that, Rod, and Taylor, as you say, in the mid-50s, and the score speaks for itself.
99.
Well, he could be 6 darts away from the match here, Phil Taylor.
I think Rod, he still has the record, something we can check up on, obviously, at some other time.
140.
83-point-something% in Las Vegas about 4 years ago. Quite brilliant display of finishing, and he's come close to it since then in Blackpool, very close to it indeed.
128.
Well, this is for the match,
Fairly
and an absolute
required
annihilation
130.
in 5 straight sets. Needs to stack on top of that. Would have left ball. 90 left. So 65 left. When he comes back, if he comes back, this is the last act of a desperate Andy Hamilton.
Yes, Taylor only halved his totally halved 130. Hamilton has to complete this, and he can't. So 65. That might be
58.
the last dart that Hamilton throws in this year's World Championship. I think he probably senses it is. Particularly as Taylor wants tops. Tens for Taylor to complete a whitewash victory over Andy Hamilton. The hammer has been hammered by the power, and it's Taylor and Barney in the last four.
Phil Taylor, 101 average, it's the third highest of the tournament, and in the semi, he'll play the man who's posted the best we've seen at Ali Pali this year, Raymond van Barneveld. What a semi-final lies in store in a couple of days' time, don't miss that.